looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. And if you've stuck around with us this long, I want to welcome you back here to getting ready for what is going to be a wild Split 1 race. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it should be a lot of excitement. Of course, Split 2, we had well, I can't even call it Turn 1 chaos. It was straightaway chaos. It was a grid chaos, and now we're back in for some action here. The famous words have been said in the admin chat. Have fun. Lobby's loading up. We're prepping in for the action. Hope you all are ready to go here. Of course, we are here at Jeddah still. If you're not familiar with Jeddah, it is built on a 30-kilometer coastal resort in the Saudi Arabian city of Jeddah. It was, of course, built in 2021. So a very, very new track. Average speed, 252 kilometers an hour. It is the fastest street circuit ever seen in Formula One. To direct quote everything that has to do with it. It's a gorgeous track. Absolutely love this track. And ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump our way in here with the race and get things going here. And now we got drivers setting up, going out on track. A little bit jumpy, a little bit bumpy, a little bit lumpy, but we're underway here and we are set with a 19-car grid for a lot of good action here. And it looks like no drivers are going to hesitate to get on track early here as we go. And you can see we're already getting racy here in quali. That is the Haas of Butrick and the Alpine of Bimolino Gaucho, who are already deciding they want to do a little bit here and squabble for some track position. A few cars staying in the pits here, but pretty much everyone else is currently on an outlap. And of course, our standings after Miami find this man, the Red Bull driver of Tazo, and the number 32 to be our current points leader. 10 points up on Ignis. We already have a yellow flag out, and that is going to be a spin for Matouche there in Sector 1. We're back on our way, but Tazo, our current points leader, very, very competitive, has 4 podiums to his name, finished P3 last weekend. Ignis was P2 last weekend. Of course, Red Bull currently lead the Constructors Championship as well, 6 points up on Alfa Romeo. last week's results here for Miami saw Roloski up in P1. It was a wet Miami race that dried out at the very end, which is really weird. Hopefully we don't see any wet weather here in Saudi Arabia. And it should be a very, very competitive field. We're going to see what the first qualifying times are that come in before we decide who is going to be wearing theirs. Baran and Extrarec that are both already out. 5-place grid penalty handed down to Wasserschwein, regardless of where Wasserschwein may finish for a collision with Extrarec. Baran getting caught in the crossfire as well and is out, and that is going to be significantly compromising in. There is an Aston Martin way off the track there. I believe that was Wasserschwein who pulled over and just got out of the way there for Tazo. Tazo's running down on a push lap. He's got a Mercedes-Benz in front of him, but shouldn't be an issue there. And as we watch this Red Bull Honda, well, it's not Honda anymore. It's just a Red Bull powertrain come through. That's a big spin coming in from Tazo coming through the middle. So split one drivers already having a lot of spins and a lot of little errors. You can see Buchek no front wing there. Graxon's coming through. Currently Graxon is purple middle sector. Barthez 129.9. Graxon should be putting in a pretty good time behind him, though. We'll see where things go. And Graxon 128.39. We saw 129.0s were our qualifying times in split 2, so split 1 really picking up the pace a little bit here for us. We're going to continue to watch, see who puts in times where. Noda's coming through the first sector putting in times. Maverick has a 129.5. His Noda's teammate Barthez 129.9. As we watch Noda through the middle sector here. Noda coming around here. Third sector looking fairly clean. Where is Noda going to wind up as we go through? We'll watch where Noda puts his car in as we see drivers coming around going into the pits here. Noda is going to be a 129.8. So currently good enough for P6, a little bit faster than teammate there. Bernard is coming around the final corner, and Debe is going to be coming around the final corner just ahead of him. We'll see where Debe lands out here. Debe staying well out of the way. Into the pits Debe goes. Bernard is now coming around final corner. We'll see where Bernard lands up, and Bernard is going to push it to the line. Is going to be down a bit on time, a 130.2. So currently, out of all the drivers that have put a time in, is the slowest. Half the grid is on another outlap, though. So we'll see where the other drivers can land. So watch here, Tazo and Roloski both currently on outlaps. Roloski coming around, getting ready to start his flying lap. We're going to ride on board here with Roloski as we watch and see what Roloski can put together here. You can see 8th gear flat out, nearly 210 miles an hour, 209 showing on my screen there before he breaks all the way down, comes around. And now he's going to be flat out through here. Drops around, very, very controlled. Still 140, 150 miles an hour through these corners. This is just a gradual slowdown all the way through. You can see gearing down just to try to keep the speed in, keep the RPMs up. And now it's flat out again to this left-hander of turn 13. You can see that the car stopped on the inside. Ignis, fastest lap, 128.2. And now look at Orlowski starting to slowly apply the throttle. Coming back up. Now it's flat through this section. Little bit of a kink here. You got to brake and slow down a little bit. Buchik now retiring out of the session. So Buchik out of the session there in turn 13. I'm not sure what happened to him there. Rolowski coming around, though, looking very, very clean. You can see diving it very close to the wall, riding the curbs, coming around. And now Rolowski, DRS open, has to navigate the traffic there of the McLaren. McLaren stays out of the way very well. And now it's ride the inside as long as you can. Dip to the outside, break around the 80 meters, 70 meter mark. And now it's out towards the wall, and it's flat to the line from this point. Pop your DRS right there at the DRS line. And Rolowski is going to put in a 1:28.5. So 0.3 of a second off of Ignis there. Ignis pulling out an impressive time. So, of course, if you are new to FRL, it is one 18-minute qualifying session. Wasserschwein spending a little bit of time on the wall here in turn 24. But it's one 18-minute qualifying session followed by a 50% race that follows up here in the league. Of course, this is split one. Split two runs previous before split one. Puhash has invalidated his lap. Zhelazny is currently on an out lap, or on a push lap, actually. And Zhelazny, we know Zhelazny has a lot of pace. We'll see where Zhelazny lands here in terms of sector times. You can see getting very close to the wall here. Jeddah, a very narrow, fast circuit. You have to be really brave on this track and be willing to risk it here. As Zhelazny goes through a 1:01.0 is his middle sector time as he hits the timing line to start the third sector. Now he's going to run it down. We've got yellow flag sector 3. Looks like that is McLaren and AlphaTauri. That might be Rolowski trying to stay out of the way there. And now, as we watch Zhelazny run it down the line here, DRS open, is Zhelazny going to be able to put in a fast time? 1:28.491. Very impressive. Only good enough for P3. Graxon's P2 starting a flying lap here. John Meister. Wait a minute. Zhelazny now registers with a 1:28.0. Huh. That was a little bit of lag, I believe, that just hit me there. And now John Meister comes through with the fastest lap, 1:27.995. So now we've broken to the 1:27s. John Meister absolutely putting some impressive pace in. And we still have several drivers that have yet to put in a time. Tazo, Wasserschwein, Matsush, and Puhash still yet to put in times. Puhash is, of course, on getting way out of the way there for some drivers. And as we see, people still putting in their times as they come through. Noda's coming around the third sector. So a few minutes left here in qualifying, and Noda is trying very hard to find himself further up the grid than P11. Now Noda's running it to the line. Noda puts in a 1:28.806. So Noda, able to improve by over a second, finds himself up into P6. Still not good enough for the provisional pole. And now we've got Bernard, who is running down. Flat to the line here for Bernard. Is Bernard going to improve? Bernard improves by almost 7/10, so 1:29.6. Still only good enough for P11, though. Some serious lap times have been put down here in this session. Jumping on board here with Tazo. Speaking of serious lap times, Tazo, who is behind a Haas here. I believe that is going to be Matoush that he is behind. Well, Matoush is the only Haas on track right now, so that's the only option we got. But Tazo, 1:01.196 through the middle sector and continuing to push and try to find some time here as he goes through. Yellow flag's waving ahead. That is going to be for an AlphaTauri getting out of the way there. And now as Tazo runs around to the middle sector, he looks like he's down just a little bit potentially We'll see where Tazo's able to land. This is going to be Tazo's first lap with 5.5 minutes left to go. 128.512, and Tazo is going to jump himself up into P6 there. Wasserschwein's on a push lap coming through turn 13. You can see very wide there. Now you can see Tazo trying to take all of that wall that he can. Bernard retiring out of the session with a 129.607. So currently Bernard is sitting P13. However, as Wasserschwein and Puhash put in a lap here, and I would imagine Barthez is going to improve. He'll drop back a little bit, so Bernard going to be starting at a further back part of the grid. You can see why Bernard retired right there, as he was sitting off on the side of the track there going through turn 25. Wasserschwein flat out here into turn 27, trying to push through and find a little bit of time. You can see as Bernard comes, or Wasserschwein comes around the final corner, running down. 128.9, good enough for P9 there, improves with a fairly decent time coming out. We've got several drivers out now. Ignis, with a massive spin there out of turn 16, so that is going to be his lap over. He's got to go around, get in, get some fresh tires, get a new wing, and then go out. This could potentially be Ignis's qualifying over, depending on how fast his crew can get his car repaired. Roloski running down the backstretch here. Is Roloski going to be able to improve? 128.046. Roloski sets himself provisionally on the front row. 4 minutes left to go here in this qualifying session. We're going to jump back with Tazo now. Tazo, you can see waving with his DRS there to the car in front, which is Matouche, that he wanted to hurry up, and Ignis behind him, just giving a little friendly wave, saying hello there. Nothing too crazy. Let's jump on board with Maddie. We haven't talked about Maddie, of course, Tazo's teammate here in the Split 1 series. And is Maddie going to be able to find some good time? Maddie's coming around here. Final corner, and I think Maddie is going to be pushing this lap. And this should be the start of a good push lap for Maddie here. We've got about 4 minutes left to go. We have an Aston Martin in the wall there. That is going to be Maverick in the wall in the third sector, is it not? Or no, that is Wasserschwein that is out here in the third sector. Okay. We've lost 5 drivers out of 19 here in this qualifying session, so I have a feeling it's going to be a very long race. Now we're following Debe here. Debe going through, getting very close to the wall there in the first sector. Coming around. What time is Debe going to be able to put in here? As he goes through, you can see very, very clean coming through turns 9, 10, 11, 12. Now it's just the run down to turn 13. He's up by 2.5 tenths through the first sector, so Debe is improving just a bit as he rounds out turn 13 here. We've got yellow flags. We've got some serious hunky-dory mess going on there in the first couple corners just based on the map, but it looks like everyone's underway with no issues. Debe trying to put down a very good lap here. We'll see where Debe lands when he crosses through the second sector, and if he's improved, he's up by 3 tenths still. Purple middle sector for Debe. So Debe on a stonker of a lap. You can see a wheel sitting in the middle of the track there out of turn 24. Now Debe just having to ride along here as fast as he can, coming through the final corner. Debe's going to have a very good lap here, it looks like, and we'll see. Did he lose anything in the third sector, though? He's flat to the line. Debe comes across a 128.792, improves by 0.2 of a second, puts himself up into provisionally P8. We've got John Meister, who's our current pole setter, who's out on a push lap, who's even improved here this lap compared to what he did. Jalajne, though, is on a push lap. Ignis is on a push lap as well. So we'll see if those drivers are able to do anything. Debe retiring out of the session there, calling it through. John Meister's purple middle sector up 2 tenths and then some. So John Meister absolutely trying to push here through the final couple of corners and trying to find more time, improve even more on that 127.995. He's coming through the final corner here. You can see very timid on the throttle. trying to get the grip through. And is he going to come across, and will he improve even more from that 127.995? There it is. 127.810. Impressive time. 30 seconds left to go. Roloski's on an out lap. I think Roloski has the time to start his lap. 20 seconds ago. I'm trying to find where Roloski is on the track. Zalazny, you can see a little bit of lag there, but absolutely trying to send it through. 32.4 through the first sector. Roloski is, I don't think, is going to get to start his lap. 5 seconds on the clock. And Roloski doesn't cross the line in time. So Roloski, unfortunately, out of qualifying here. Best he'll get his P2 here as we watch Zalazny come around here. Ignis, Graxen's through. Tazo, Graxen's purple middle sector. We'll have to keep our eyes on him and see where he goes. Tazo's in the pits, so Tazo's out. Graxen contending with traffic well here. Is Graxen going to be able to improve? Zalazny is going to come across the line here. Is Zalazny going to improve? Zalazny down by less than 1/10 of a second. Graxen is up so far as he goes through. Is he going to improve any on this 128.3? He is going to improve to a 128.1. Graxen's able to get himself up into P4. Ignis comes across the line at a 2 minute. So Ignis, best he can get is P5, and John Meister is just coasting it in, calling it a session there. So, with that being our qualifying session over, we've got John Meister, Roloski, Zalazny, Graxen, Ignis, Tazo, Bimolino Gaucho, Noda, Matoush, who DNF'd out but was able to secure P9 with the time that was in. So that was a fun little qualifying session. Half the grid DNF'd out. I have a feeling that is speaking for what we're about to watch in the race here. John Meister, Roloski, Zalazny, Graxen, Ignis, Tazo, Bimolino Gaucho, Noda, Matoush, Puhash, Debe, Maverick, Maddie, Wasserschwein, Barthez, Bernard, Buchik, Extrac, and Baran. With the last 3 drivers not getting to put in a time. Here we go. We're on the grid, and it's going to be 5 red lights, and we are underway here for this split one action. And as we get underway here very quickly, lots of carnage in the background, and that is an Alpine that's already into the wall out of nowhere. I have no idea who that was, but it's lots of carnage in the midfield as we see 3 wide trying to come through the first chicane. And I'm really surprised that's not an immediate safety car there, because Bimolino Gaucho went straight into the wall. Somehow didn't DNF through, but as we see, still carnage there. That is going to be Barthez that is off to the side. And now we've still got more people going around here. Wasserschwein spinning, and I think things might be back under halfway decent. Wasserschwein is missing a front wing, and now we're going to be running side by side here as they run through turn 13 for the first time. And as we get around here and we're going through, and now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the real action happens. The back half of the track is where a lot of the fun comes through, because now you can see Maverick Song at the wheel there, getting spun around there by the Haas of Buchik. He's into the wall, and now he's going to have to get back underway there, and that is going to be very unfortunate. Buchik's now down into P13 with no front wing. Half of the grid is going to have to pit for no front wing on this first lap here. Mateusz is in P15, Wasserschwein's P14. He's fighting with his teammate there. They're side by side as they come around. And now as they run down and through, Mateusz is through, Graxen, the front of the field is starting to take us through the first lap, and things are kind of settling up in the front of the field here. And that's a big, big impact there. That is Maddie, who is spun around out of the final corner into the wall, possibly a little bit of wing damage. We'll see if he dives into the box here for an unscheduled stop. And there it is. You can see Ignis, Buchik, Wasserschwein, Mateusz, Maddie, Bimolino, Gaucho, all into the pits here. Pit strategy, soft, medium, medium, or a medium to hard, depending on what sort of strategy you want to go for here as we go through, looking at who is in what tires. Of course, you've got mediums and hards all the way through the field. Debe up into P8 on the soft compound tires, so that's a very, very good decision here from Debe. And, of course, now we've got a lap under our belt, and absolute carnage has already happened, and it is going to be just a very, very chaotic race here. I have a feeling for the 25 laps that there are here. Now we see the drivers just kind of settle in, try to click into a rhythm here, and try to just hold on as best they can. Jalajne half a second back here on Noda, and the gaps up through the front of the field are about half a second or so. Of course, no DRS for the first 2 laps after the race and the first 2 laps after any safety car. Looking at positions gained and lost, Kashti is up 10 places now, up into P10. Ignis is down 10 places. Bimolino, Gaucho, and Matouche losing out 11 and 12 places. Jalajne's dropped 3 places so far down. And then, of course, everybody else with some pretty significant gains. Baran gaining 9 places after starting P18. So very, very impressive there from the Ferrari driver, being able to pull out a very large gain from the scraps of everyone else's battling. Doing very, very well there very early on. You can see Graxton here trying to chase down Roloski, doing a very, very good job of trying to stay close to him there. Gap half a second, closing just a little bit with a better exit there out of turns 11 and 12. Running down towards turn 13. All right, and now the split one drivers are going to settle in for the long haul here. Graxton a 10th and a half back here on Roloski with DRS, not able to get past here. But Graxton does put in a purple middle sector. He's still going to be trying to push Roloski as hard as he can here. He's going to look around the outside with DRS. Is he going to be able to get the pass done before they get to the end of the straightaway? He should have plenty of time to get this done, and he does. But now Roloski is going to have DRS down the main straight. So is Roloski going to be able to fight back any as they run down the main straight? Roloski gets a little bit poor of an exit there as compared to Graxton, but does he have enough to fight back with DRS as we run down the main straight here? Graxton with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, 131.9, and Roloski just doesn't have enough to fight back, and he's going to be under pressure from Tazo here as well. Debe getting up into P7 at the end of the straight. And Wasserswan DNFing out there, and it looks like that is going to put us under our first safety car. Wasserswan spinning out of turn 24, it looks like. So we've got one driver on softs, everyone else is on medium or hard. So we'll see what strategy Debe has in play here on the soft tires in the Williams to try to pull something out of his pocket, potentially try to get a podium or a win here. As the drivers come around, you can see Debe is going to go into the pits here early on. And we'll see what the Williams driver decides to do here. Opting to pit here very early on, looking for a little bit of a strategy difference. You can see a few other pit crews are ready there. You've got Extraec, who is in behind there in the Alpine. You've got the Williams pit crew ready. McLaren pit crew coming in. There, Barthas coming in onto a set of hard tires. Debe went onto a set of mediums. Extrac onto a set of medium or hard tires there as well. Not losing a lot of track position because it is early enough on in the race here. Debe comes out P12 out of the pits there. And now it's just the run for all of the cars to bunch up behind the safety car and see where things go. Of course, you can see a lot of the grid already bunched up behind the safety car there, very close on. And they are just being pretty patient, just trying to hold on and keep heat in the tires early on. Everyone's only got a few laps in except for those in the back that have pit, which is pretty much everyone from 12th place back has pit at some point here in these first 5 laps. So John Meister had a lot of good quality pace, which was very impressive to see. Graxon's in P2, Rolowski's in P3. So those two are going to be fighting very hard. Tazo's in P4. Tazo's going to be fighting very hard, but Tazo also knows that he has a championship to win. So I would imagine that Tazo is going to play it a little bit timid. As we go here, lap 6 of 25 currently underway. And we're just slow pacing under safety car. You know, one of the things that I think can make this fun would be double file restarts in F1. Can you imagine a double file restart? And here we go. We are going to be back underway here. So safety car pulls in. That's going to give John Meister control of the field to go whenever John Meister would like. You can see they're a bit spread out, though, which is kind of unusual. John Meister waiting until the very last second to go there, and Graxon right on the way. Rolowski's ready to go as well. So we're back green flag running here on lap 7. And look at that. Rolowski thinking about the inside. Doing well to defend from Tazo there, holding on to it. And now as we continue to go, John Meister, Graxon, Rolowski, Tazo, Noda. Look at that there in the front. They're all holding on to each other here. Everybody kind of single file here, trying to just relax a bit. Noda's trying to go on the aggressive. against Tazo and see if he's able to make a little bit of a pass here and try to get himself another position up into P4 against Through. Same thing with Baran here against Kashti. Kashti, a tenth of a second back. Yellow flag sector 1, that is going to be for one of the Hasses. That is for Buchik, who is spun. So we are going to keep this going here and keep moving. And as we see here, Kashti's not able to get the pass done. Jalajne, a tenth of a second back here on Noda, trying to get a pass on Noda. Very, very close. Still not close enough to get a pass done. This track is very difficult to pass on. As I say that, Kashti and Puhash battling, and there is going to be someone falling all the way back. That is going to be Maverick. Front wing everywhere on the track. And that is another safety car. That is a track that if there's any sort of event, it's immediately a safety car. We'll see here if any drivers on the medium tires opt to go into the pits. I can't imagine they would. They've only done like 3 laps. Well, never mind. There goes John Meister into the pits early on. We'll see what John Meister opts to do here pit-wise. You've got Tazo and Noda going into the pits as well here. We'll see what the Alfa Romeo garage has ready here for John Meister. They are putting on a set of hard compound tires. So pit lane's getting pretty busy here through this second caution. We got about half a lap of green flag running in there before it was another caution. And now you can see everybody going on to hard tires except for Maverick. Maverick going on to a set of mediums. Which is a very unusual decision there. And of course, I did talk about this in Split 2, but if you came around and supported the ACC Endurance FRL team, do appreciate it. And the rumor mill is flying about their next appearance. Rumor has it that they will be running at Mount Panorama next month. Unconfirmed yet if that is actually happening. However, rumors seem to be pretty true in the world of F1 and in the world of FRL. So more details on that to come as things are confirmed. But getting back to the race at hand, we're currently sitting lap 8 of 25. Fastest lap is a Graxent with a 1:31.9. Very, very good time there. And the only person I see close to his pace is John Meister, who's now down in P10 after that pit stop. Of course, Graxent has yet to pit there. So your top 5 have yet to make a pit stop. And as the drivers continue to go through here and pace around, we are not too far away, I would say, from the restart of this race here. And when we restart, it'll be 15 to go. Of course, the laps here at Jeddah are somewhat longer laps, with about, a minute 30-ish being the average pace time here. But for a nearly 4-mile-long circuit, still a very impressive lap time. As the drivers are coming around here through turn 13, we're getting set up, getting ready to go. Back under green flag running. I believe this should be our final lap under safety car. If not this one, then at least one more. You can see how hard the drivers are pushing to put heat in the tires. I mean, look at Rolowski absolutely scrubbing the tires through there, just trying to keep heat built up for this 15-lap run to the end because he doesn't want to pit yet. And I would imagine all these drivers have the same thought I do. There's going to be at least one or two more safety cars. And safety car will be in this lap. So our back half of the grid is all pit. Our front half, or our bottom 5 of the top 10 have all pit at least once in this race. So it's just our top 5 that have yet to pit, and they're going to be feeling the pressure early on here, coming in on the run. And you can see here just how the safety car is already taken off. Graxton has control of the field, and Graxton is trying to back them up very, very aggressively. As we see here, Graxton spins on the restart. Oh, Graxton. And now as we're back underway, Rolowski is going to have the lead going down through. Graxton now getting disqualified from the session for wrong way driving. Oh, that hurts. Man. He spins on the exit trying to get on the power and then is disqualified for wrong way driving. Ouch. That's going to be painful. Graxton had a lot of pace going through, but now our leaders are just going to absolutely take off and disappear here. Rolowski already 1.1 seconds up on Zalazny. Zalazny already a second up on Puhash. As we can see, they are just going to try to push and get away as fast as they can. We're yellow flag sector 1. I don't know what that's for. Now Matoush getting past Extract there going into turn 16, and that is going to be at... Oh, and Matoush spins as well going through. Now he's going to be trying to get going again, and he is going to end up back at the back of the field. That's very unfortunate for the Haas driver. Just cold tires and loses the grip there. And now as we run through, Maddie's going through. Kashi and Noda are battling it out there for that is P10, and Kashi's able to get past there, so Kashi's now up into P10. Noda's down in P11 as we continue to run down and around here. See Noda going very wide there on the final corner, and side by side is Bimolino, Gaucho, and Bernard right behind them. That is a battle to watch as well because Bernard's going to be trying to have a run on Bimolino as we run through here. And look at this top 3, over a second already separating the top 3 drivers. And then you've got Baran and Debe who are trying to chase down Puhash here for that 3rd place. Of course, top 4 still have yet to pit, which is very interesting. And now look at the background there. That is going to be Barthez and John Meister trying to make a move on Barthez. He's not able to make anything stick through turn 13 there, so they are going to keep going and keep it together there. And now we jump on board Debe up in P5 at the moment with a stellar performance coming in from the Williams driver. Trying to chase down Baran there in P4 and going for a move. He's got Barthez and John Meister behind him for company, trying to keep close with him. Rolowski has closed the gap down to Zalazny to 0.7 of a second now. So these drivers staying very close. Tazo within 0.2 of a second here of Extract, thinking about trying to get a pass done. And there's a 1/10 of a second. And there he goes around the outside here of Extract. Is he going to be able to make this pass stick as we hit the braking zone? Extract slots in behind Tazo. So that is going to be the pass there. Tazo's now up into P8. Race control has called DRS. John Meister and Barthez side by side here as we run down the main straight. And now you've got Debe who's going to be under pressure from Barard. All right, lots of passes happening here. Stick with it, everyone. So Baran is up ahead. Debe has a big snap of oversteer there. Debe down into P5. And now you've got John Meister ahead of Barthez there. Tazo up in P8 right on the rear wing there. And that is Cassidy in the background that is spun. Coming through that first sector. Cassidy all the way down into P17 now. and might actually lose out even more and drop into P18. But as we continue to watch here, Debe trying to chase down Baran there. 7-lap-old mediums against 11-lap-old hard tires. And you see he's going to dip it around the inside here. Is he going to be close enough for the pass? He's not close enough there, but is he going to try anything brave here going into this big braking zone? He's not. He's just patient, holding on to it, trying to go through, and now he's got John Meister for company right behind him, and John Meister is going to be looking for an opportunity to get past both of them as well. Look at the background there. Tazo and Barthez battling it out, and then behind them, Noda and Extra X. So the McLaren boys under pressure and putting pressure. Tazo's past Barthez, Noda's past Extract there, and now they are going to be looking at who needs to be in what position here. Our team order is going to come into play here for the McLaren team. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to slot in. They've got the Alpines right behind them. John Meister now ahead of Debe. Debe getting a big snap of the rear end there and slotting in back behind. So Debe P6, Tazo's P7, but Tazo wants a little bit more. Tazo up into P6. Defensive goes John Meister, trying to keep Tazo behind, and there we go. It's Baran, John Meister, Tazo, and Debe. Settling in here. There's a piece of front wing that just went flying. I don't know whose that was. I don't see damage on any of the cars on our screen. Potentially it was Baran, because Baran's lost a little bit of pace here. John Meister's down to P4, and there's a big snap there of understeer. Yeah, you can see the front, that left front end plate is missing there for Baran. Baran's about to lose a significant amount of time here because Debe's going to go right up the inside. And Baran just doesn't have the downforce or the grip to stick with him. Yellow flags. Sector 1, Sector 2. And those have cleared. But look at this. Baran's even fighting back against Debe, even without a front wing. And Baran's about to just get swallowed here and have a horrible time. He's dropping back. Now he's in P8. Notice past Debe there. And Debe's now down into P8. And Baran's back up into P6. This is a three-way battle. And there goes Debe with a spin. And that's Barthez spinning as well. And then there is Baran spinning out. Lots of carbon fiber on the track. And I would say that serves for a safety car. That three-way battle was going on very, very strong for very, very long. And they were trying to hold on to it there. Unfortunately, it looks like just a few drivers spinning there coming into, that was the turn 22-23 complex. It looks like a few drivers spinning, and this is going to trigger a lot of action on pit lane. Top four stay out. Roloski's in here. Onto a set of mediums. Zalazny onto a set of mediums. Puhash onto a set of mediums. Bemolino Gacho onto a set of mediums. Bernard onto a set of mediums. Pit lane is extremely busy. Haas double stacking. Williams double stacking, I believe. Aston Martin, Mercedes double stacking. AlphaTauri double stacking. And everyone's into the pits. Everyone except for 4 cars is into the pits here. Man, that was something. That was a good battle there for a couple minutes. They were, even with no front wing, Baran was fighting extremely hard, which was very impressive and kind of not smart to see. But now we're under safety car. John Meister, Noda, Matty, Ignis, and then everyone from Roloski back was into the pits that lap. All right, and if you're just joining us, this is going to be our 3rd safety car here in Split 1. Split 2 had 3 safety cars. This is the 3rd safety car here in Split 1. We got John Meister, Noda, Matty, Ignis, our top 4. They did not pit that time. They pit under the last safety car, and then we have Roloski, Zalazny, Puhash, Bemolino, Gacho, Bernard. Maverick is our top 10. Then from there, it's Buchik, Debe, Matoush, Tazo, Extrek, Barthez, and Baran. 17 drivers currently in the race still. Kashti, Wasserschwein, Graxent. Well, Kashti and Wasserschwein DNFing, Graxent getting disqualified. Buchik and Matoush are both into the pits now. I'm not sure what this is about. It looks like it's a front wing change for Buchik. And then what is it going to be for Matoush? Serving a penalty and a front wing change. It's very, very strange. I'm not sure what happened to the Haas drivers, but they both had to come in for front wing changes there under the safety car. Well, we're officially 10 laps to go here, and as the cars cross through turn 13, I don't think this is our last lap under safety car. And safety car will be in this lap. So that means that John Meister will have control of the field this time by. You see Noda just very, very slow up the inside. John Meister swerving, trying to build tire temp, and Noda pulling the old Kimi Räikkönen, just staying comfortably behind him there, trying to see when he's going to try to make that jump. And he's still not going. We'll see when he straightens up and decides to take off here. And there he goes. And then you can see Noda just enabled the battery, so not giving John Meister a little bit of room there. Bernard and Maverick already swapping places. A little bit of chaos here in the midfield. You can see that is a Haas of Buchik diving down the inside hard, taking multiple positions and then getting spun there by Baran. So, but nothing crazy there happening. We're staying green, continuing to go. It's John Meister, Noda, Matty, Ignis. Roloski here, a tenth of a second back on Ignis. Look how close he is to the rear wing here. He's trying to hold on. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after safety car. So it's all about slipstream, pace, and skill if you want to try to get a pass done right now. And Roloski's showing off a little bit of that skill there, diving down the inside. Is he close enough to get the pass done, though? And they're still side by side, maybe a little bit of wheel contact there. Roloski runs very wide there, but does manage to get past Ignis. And now he's slowing down, trying to give the position back because he took it off track. And that is going to put him under pressure from Puhash. Puhash is going to get past there. And now Zalazny is going to be in the mix as well. Zalazny, Roloski, two of the big heavy hitters here in FRL. Are they going to be able to hold positions here? Is one going to pass the other? It's hard to tell. Roloski holding on. Roloski clattering off the wall there coming out of turn 23. And now Roloski, I don't think got wing damage from that, thankfully. Maybe just a little bit of a nervous time there. And now that is going to be Zalazny on the outside trying to get past Roloski here. They're side by side, a little bit further up front is Roloski than Zalazny, and Zalazny is going to slot in, dive on the brakes on the outside, try to get him going into one. Zalazny gets pushed very wide, takes a 3-second time penalty, comes back on the track there. That mixes up a lot of things there. But everybody comes through pretty clean. Zalazny is ahead of Roloski, even with a 3-second time penalty. Now you have Bernard behind just barely. John Meister's already built up a 1.3 second gap on Noda and is continuing to push that lead. As it continues to run through, Baran has spun coming out of turn 16. Baran is back underway, though. No issues there. Debe and Extract are battling it out very hard for P12. Debe is in the lead, or ahead of Extract now in that battle for P12, and Extract is going to be under pressure from Matouche there in the back. Of course, we have John Meister, Noda, Maddie, and Ignis who are on old hard tires, so I'm curious to see what happens with them. Look at that. That is Matouche getting around Extract there through the final corner. DRS has now been enabled, so that should spice things up just a bit for us here. As we continue to watch, Maddie is trying to chase down Noda here, 0.3 of a second the gap, and then you've got the entire field just within 2 to 0.3 of a second behind there. As we continue to watch here, you can see the difference DRS can make here is coming up shortly as we go through. Jalajne is 1/10 of a second back here. We've got yellow flag, sector 1, sector 2. That is going to be for the Ferrari of Baran, who is going very slow. Jalajne is looking around against Puhash here as we go through the DRS zone. Is he going to be able to get the pass done with the help of DRS? But, of course, Puhash has DRS as well. Jalajne positioning his car very well there against Puhash and is able to get the pass done and get himself up there into 4th place. And now he can set off chasing down Maddie, and Maddie is trying to chase down Noda slowly but surely. Jalajne actually pumps in a fastest lap of the Grand Prix right there, so Jalajne opening up the pace a little bit there on the medium tires. Of course, 6 laps to go here in this race. And Jalajne is going to be pushing very hard to try to get past the 3 people in front of him on the old hard compound tires. Barthez picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That is going to be our second penalty that we've seen handed out. And look at how much more speed Jalajne is able to carry as opposed to Maddie there. He's able to get past him there with no issues at all. And now Jalajne is going to just set down to trying to chase down Noda. And there's a big snap there from Noda. Noda going into the wall there, and that is going to open things up very easily for Jalajne to get this pass done. And Jalajne, just pretty as you please, says, "Thank you very much. Can't keep your your car out the wall. I will go ahead and put my car in the place." So Jalajne now has a 2.5 second gap and 5 laps to make up 2.5 seconds here. But of course, Noda with DRS is going to be trying to push back at him here. So Jalajne needs to really open up and try to get away a little bit here. Bimolino, Gatcho, and Bernard are swapping positions now. And Bernard now under pressure from Matouche as well. You can see Matouche going very wide there through turn 1. And coming back through now, Matouche is going to be trying to look at Bernard as well. Trying to get the pass done. Tazo and Debe are in the mix as well. Trying to look for the last of the points paying places, trying to earn a point up. Buchik now with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Of course, Buchik did just pit from soft tires, so Buchik is going to be considerably faster. Baran is into the pits here, and I think Baran might be going for softs to finish the race as well. Debe dropping back several places. Baran actually retiring out of the race here. Look at this, though. Jalajne has already cut the gap down to 1.6, 1.7 seconds on John Meister and has already opened up 0.8 of a second on Noda. So that's a very important move there. Bimolino Gaucho getting past Roloski. Look at the swap back, though. Bernard and Matouche. Bernard is going to be past Roloski as well. Up the inside, Matouche has a big snap of the rear end there. Coming out of the final corner, that's going to compromise his exit there. Tazo's going to be in the mix now to try to get a pass done. Going into T1, watch the drivers go very chaotic. Roloski looks around, doesn't have a pass on Bimolino. Bernard and Matouche battling it out here, and now it is going to be Bernard on the left here, Matouche on the right. They're going to settle in. Tazo's trying to look for a pass as well. I don't think Tazo has one to give. Jalashne now a second off of John Meister as well up front. So he's coming slowly within DRS range. But the big thing is he doesn't only need to get past John Meister. He needs to build a 3-second lead as well. Pujols 0.3 of a second off of Matty, the Red Bull in front, and trying to chase him down. Those medium tires are really coming into their own, and the hard tires are really starting to fall off there. 13 laps old. And then Pujols is just going to try to run it wide, try to do what he can here to get a pass done against Matty, put some pressure on Matty, try to force Matty to make an error. He's going to go up the inside here through the last DRS zone here through turns 25, 26. Is he going to be passed by the exit of the corner? He has just enough room to try to slot in. He doesn't slot all the way up into the racing line, but he has just enough room to go ahead and have that pass done. Pujols now up into P4 and is going to set off to chase Noda down for the podium paying places. Lap 22 of 25, and now the corner cutting penalties are really starting to get handed out here. So Jalajne is currently P2 with a 3-second penalty. Matty with 3 seconds. Bernard and Barthez all with 3-second penalties for corner cutting. So they're going to have to be very tidy through the rest of the race. Yellow flag, that is going to be for Bernard spinning in turn 13. He's back underway, though, with no issues, it looks like. So we should not see a safety car here. So now Baran out of the session, Kashti, Wasserschwein, and Graxen, all drivers out of the session now. Jalajne, look at this, half a second the gap between Jalajne and John Meister. Trying to chase him down very hard, and Barthez. Oh, look at this, 3 wide coming down the main stretch here. And who is going to come out ahead? It's Mateusz Barthez, and that is going to be the Alpine of Extract behind them there. So Extract trying to get his nose in the mix there, switching back, not able to get past Barthez there. Mateusz P9, Barthez and Extract P9, 10, 11. This is a this was a battle that was brewing for a few laps, and now they've kind of settled it down. Things are starting to settle down for the moment. And now as we continue to watch this here, Extract and Barthez side by side coming through around, and Barthez is going to hold on to P10 here, the last of the points paying places. Of course, very important in this battle, but now look at Debe back in the back. He is going to be coming up in the mix. The more these two squabble, the more they're going to let Mateusz get away. 1.7 seconds, 1.8 seconds, the gap is already, but the more they're going to invite Debe into the mix, and Debe is now within a second of them, and that is a big run wide. That's a big hit there from Barthez. And I believe Barthez got hit in the back by Extract as well. Or was it Debe that hit him there? So that was a big error there from Barthez. And now Debe pays the price, losing his front wing as well. So those two drivers' races are officially over. 2 laps to go here, and they're both going to have to pit in for wings. It looks like Debe is just going to keep going there and just finish out the race. Jalajne, look at this. A tenth of a second, the gap between Jalajne and John Meister. He's going to be trying to chase down John Meister here and get past him as fast as he can, because that will at least secure him P2. The more he fights, the more he invites Puhash in, and the more likely it is that he'll drop down to P3. Because look, there's Puhash in the back of your screen as they come around turn 13. So and this is going to be our big battle here between John Meister and Jalajne as we go through. Jalajne putting in very, very strong sector times, trying to push through against John Meister, but who is going to come out on top? DRS open here for Jalajne. Does he have enough pace left in those medium tires to try to make a difference here? Does John Meister have something in his pocket that he can defend with? You see he got very defensive there coming into the final corner. Very smart decision, because that is where most of the passing has been done today. And now, as the final lap starts, Jalajne, DRS wide open. He's going to look up the inside here. Gets the pass done going into turn 1, but is John Meister going to be able to fight back on those 17-lap-old hard tires? You can see here, Jalajne trying as hard as he can to get past there. Maddie and Bimolino Gaucho battling it out as well, and that battle is going to see Maddie ahead of Bimolino for the time being. John Meister already dropping 0.6 of a second back just through the first sector alone. Jalajne really needs to open up the pace and try to build a bit more of a gap here coming through, because Jalajne might get P1 on track, but John Meister is going to have P1 in the time standings once penalties are applied, unless something drastic comes up here. Jalajne coming through, John Meister P2. They're coming around turn 16 now into the 18, 19, 20 complex. Now as they go through, just needs to be a clean lap for the rest of the lap here for these two, and they will have a solid finish. Of course, post-stewards review might find Jalajne with the win, but on track it will be Jalajne. But on the timing standings as it stands, it'll be John Meister. So Jalajne comes around the final corner here, and after that turn 1 final lap pass, Jalajne is going to come through. He takes the checkered flag, and he is going to be on track P1. John Meister, of course, is going to come across, though. Puhash under a lot of pressure from Noda. Noda snapping the rear end right at the line. Ignis, Maddie. Maddie is going to lose a lot of time, though. Bimolino Gaucho, Tazo, Ignis. Maddie coming out in P8. Matoush coming across the line, P9. But as drivers continue to cross the line, is Matoush going to keep that P9? He does. X-Rec was just too far back in P10. P11 is going to be Debe. Debe had a very strong race up until that weird collision there that happened. I'm not sure what that was about. Lolowski P12, Barthez P13, Buchik, Bernard, and Maverick. We'll just wait on those drivers to cross the line. But John Meister will be bringing home the win here in Split 1 in FRL. And driver of the day is going to be Matoush, which is very well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be how we end our Sunday here with FRL. John Meister, Jalajne, Puhash, Noda, Bimolino Gacho, Tazo, Ignis, Maddie, Matouche, and Extract rounding out our top 10. Dave, Roloski, Buchik, Barthez, Bernard, Maverick being all of our drivers that finished the race. Baran, Kashti, DNFing out due to crashes. Graxon, of course, getting a disqualification. And Wasserschwein DNFing as well. Be sure to tune in with us next week. We are going to be at Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas on the 5th of March. And then from there, it's 4 more races to finish out our season. It's Austin next weekend, Singapore, Spielberg, and then the end of March will be at Interlagos. Of course, if you are interested in joining FRL, check out our Discord, jump in the server, pick a driver number. We'd love to have you on track. And then, of course, give us a follow on YouTube, give us a follow on Twitch, subscribe to Twitch, and be sure to stick around for all of the racing action. As always, my name is Bradley. I am going to be your voice of FRL, and I will see you next week. And it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Roloski is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers.